Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. And I am your host, Captivating Christian. And of course, you guys are my co hosts, along with, of course, everything that's brown. Oh, hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey. It's another Tuesday. What's going on, Brother Nate? Pastor Nate as well. What's going on, Mr. The Smart Show? I did catch your little thing this morning. It was cool. I liked it. Patty Duke, always a great time when I see Miss Patty Duke. And of course, yes, as always, moisturize, because it's a hell of a lot of dirty, dry folks around here. Greetings from Conyers, Georgia. Hey, I've never been, but actually I do know some relatives that do live out there. Cool. Thank you for joining. I definitely appreciate it. All right, what's going on? Hopefully everybody has had a great, blissful week. And, no stress. This is, May is always a tough month for me. So, and the beginning is always the worst. And, as it goes, it kind of fades away. But yeah, the beginning of May is always not a great month. So we're trying to keep it even, trying to be like, I'm too blessed to be stressed kind of attitude. Yeah. So I'm just going to continue to keep it moving. For those of you who may know, who follow me on Instagram, today is actually my mother passed away today 5 years ago. So it was kind of like don't nobody press no buttons today. And no buttons have been pressed, so I haven't allowed people to press my buttons in that way. That's given people too much power, and we don't believe in that. So moving right along with that, there's enough going on in the world that can press anybody's buttons to be worried about anything else. Oh, that's cool. Well, thank you, Conscious, for definitely sending you over here. Hopefully you enjoy. We just talk about normal everyday stuff that is affecting our community and our people. Thank you for finally catching a live. Thank you, Virginia Redbone. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. Although a cash app would be better, but I thank you. So, hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode, like I said, of Politics and Wellness. Well, of course, you guys are my co-hosts. And we're just going to talk about some things, a whole host of things. For one, and I know some people are like, oh, don't do it, but I just got it. I don't have any kind of bag on me, okay? For those of you who see my Instagram, you will know that I have a tattoo on that part of my body. So therefore, yeah. No bags. But anyway, on to more things that are relevant than the irrelevant. Boy, what is not going on? So we have Derek Chauvin and his lawyers now issuing for a new trial because of this juror who went to a police accountability protest. Now, we don't know if he was asked if he ever attended any protest in the area. They're thinking that that's what the judge is going to, from what I've read from multiple sources, that they're thinking that the judge is going to call him back into his chambers to ask the juror if he did in fact know, or was he asked, had he attended any protest in regards to George Floyd, and his answer. Now, I don't, if in fact he was asked and denied it, then I think, of course, we'll be headed into some other territory. But I mean, basically, like you said, they are throwing everything but the kitchen sink at this, because they are, well, of course, hoping that at least one white woman would not vote for the guilty plea, which would have then freed the officer and he would be free. However, they all voted guilty, so now they had to rethink their plan. So hopefully this goes well, and the juror can then explain himself, and we can move forward, and the other officers can await their fate, which is coming up pretty soon. So yeah, with that, moving right along. I'm sorry, I was writing notes as I was working, so excuse me for all this. Of course, we know, for those of you who don't know, in the Republican Party, as far as the House and Senate are concerned, Liz Cheney, who happens to be the daughter of former Vice President Dick Cheney, has a lead in authority on the House side. And of course, she is not drinking the Donald Trump Kool-Aid and believing about the January 6th riot, okay, with the Mayonnaise and Miracle Whip coalition trying to take back the already shiny white Capitol that nobody ever took over. But anyway, she's basically saying, the election is over, he lost, and let's move on. Donald Trump is still talking about how the election was stolen from him. And she's like, enough's enough. Let's just move on and concentrate on actually governing. And so what Donald Trump and the rest of his political flunkies are basically moving to do is to remove her out of power in the House. So therefore, everybody in the House who will have some sort of power will be a Donald Trump flunky. It's already in works as far as the voting rights acts that have been happening in many states. From Georgia was the first with the state legislation and local legislators chipping away, not even chipping, but chiseling, jackhammering away at voter rights. Texas followed. Florida has actually put in some voter limitations as well. Not only that, but as far as for protests or protesters in Florida, you can now run over protesters and kind of not really get in trouble for it, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, it's a lot of crap really going on. And that's why I say that we always have to be vigilant. We cannot relax and think, oh yeah, because we won, that we're safe, because we're not. Because while we're celebrating, they're moving along with their plans, and they can actually accomplish many of them because we don't vote locally. We think the president can solve everything. We think, people in Washington can solve everything. And that's far from the case. Your local government has far more powers to actually put things in place that can block or progress the nation forward, especially our states and cities. So with that said, we definitely got to really pick it up, because we are so far behind. These Republicans are moving, and they're moving steam. And Donald Trump is loving every minute of it. And it just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. But my hope is that we stay focused, that we vote. And I felt some type of way, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit. I'm not going to really dig too much into it, because I did feel some type of way about Kamala Harris's comment about this is not a racist nation. But on the other hand, the political side of me understood why she said that. One, this is just their first term, and we need to realize that. And although sometimes we come together in kumbaya to vote and celebrate in a victory. The reality is a lot of people just don't see it for the progression of equality of Black people and people of color. They'll let you get something, but everybody ain't comfortable with you having the same powers and rights that they have. They're just not. So certain things, it's almost like certain things you can know but not say. And at this point, sorry, that's my headphones. At this point, that's just one of them things. Like you just don't, not right now. It's a little early. Joe Biden is not young. She may have to take over the helm. And you don't want to stir up the pot yet. I get that. I think maybe she shouldn't even have commented on it. She should have just, said maybe there's a history of racism that this country has. So I understand how some people will think or feel, not even think, but feel that this country is racism because of the history. I would have went with something like that rather than just flat out saying that it's not, because it is. Now, if you were going to say, well, maybe she didn't mean the people in the nation, maybe she just meant the nation as a whole. Okay, if we want to dig into semantics, if we want to just dig into semantics, then I wouldn't have gotten into it. But I just feel like personally, she was trying to cater, kind of dance that line of, I don't want to say, yeah, it is. It's racist as hell. Why are these Black people getting killed, to then have some white people who will sit there and actually vote for your causes and want to see you, not want to see you killed in the street, but they exactly don't want you in their neighborhoods. They don't want you necessarily schooling where they school. They don't want you doing a whole lot of things that they consider just for them. It's like, you all right, you can get your little rights and all this other kind of stuff, but you can't have what I have. And that needs to change. That again, and that has everything to do with the system. But you have to kind of dismantle the system. And this is a system that has not been checked. When has it? I mean, seriously been checked to where in which we were like, oh shit, this is really happening. The system has never been checked to where it has thrown a monkey wrench in the entire plan. Anybody that they even thought could have the possibility of throwing a monkey wrench in the plans, they killed, just flat out. Like, there was no question. If they felt like you could cause an uprising or get people to think or moving forward, they wouldn't hesitate to kill you. We have a history of it. You can open up your history books and you can read about a few, especially during the Civil Rights Movement, from Medgar Evers on, and necessarily haven't been killed by quote unquote government officials, but still have been murdered just for the stuff that they were pushing. Not just pushing rights for Black people. Let's be very clear. They were pushing for the rights of all poor people, not just Black people. But of course, we're going to just label it like, well, Black people were the only people that discriminated against. Not necessarily true, but there were a lot of poor people who were Black, white, brown, whatever. So at some point, it was, why don't we stop fighting against each other and fight the real person, which is the corporate greed or the really wealthy. Let's fight to get money for everybody. And of course, the corporate greed did not like that. It's that way now. Even in this pandemic, where a lot of people are not able to go to work, you're still fighting of getting people stimulus checks who don't have jobs. But yet, your Walgreens are still open. Your Walmarts have been open, your CVS's, all these other places have been open. And yes, people have been able to work because they were open. So we're thankful for that. But at the end of the day, who is making the most money? Yeah. That CEO of the Walgreens, the CEO of the Walmart, and all these other things. And not only that, they were able to probably even get extra bonuses because they, use some kind of probably government siphon to be like, well, I had to hire all these people and make sure they got to work during the pandemic. Can I get some more extra money? Can I get another tax cut? And of course, I'm sure they got it. So therein lies, they always make sure that they make money and get money. And we are the ones who are working for all of this, who have to beg, plead, and kind of fight and everything just to get scraps. So, gentrification, let's change Starbucks to white. I mean, yeah, it's just, it's real sad. Like the state of this nation, the state of the lack of education, it's just crazy all across the board. So, what else was I going to talk about? Giuliani's in trouble, but if you didn't know, Giuliani was former mayor of New York City who rose to public power. I won't even say political power, but public notoriety from 9/11 because he was the mayor of New York City at the time. So he rose to power or kind of famous because he was the 9/11 mayor. And from that, he'd been riding the 9/11 train all the way damn near till now, 2021. He's run for president of the United States twice. Yeah, twice, I believe. He's run twice, unsuccessful both times, but always been like an ally for Donald Trump. Excuse me, giving him a lot of city deals, making sure that, he stayed under the radar, getting a lot of city stuff. And, so we didn't see his dirt and so on and so forth. So anyway, Bill Barr, Flint Flintstone, who was the former Attorney General of the United States during the Trump administration, upon exiting from the office, they opened an investigation. Now, the people in charge of the different departments of the Justice Department who was beholden to Trump was stopping a lot of the investigation going forward. But the investigation was opened and okayed by Bill Barr to begin with. Now, Giuliani has said, hey, well, you know what? I've already handed over my stuff to the Justice Department. He was basically just talking about his stuff in regards to Hunter Biden, who happens to be the son of the now president, Joe Biden, when he worked in Ukraine. Whoop-de-doo. I mean, granted, it was shady, but I think, and I look at it like this, if I'm a person of influence and my son really needs a job, as anybody would do, and you kind of have the power to put him a certain place that would be questionable but not illegal, so he could help out his family and kind of not depend on you and be calling you to be like, Dad, you got some, Dad, I need, I could see why he did it. Not saying that it's a good look, just saying I could see why he did it. So with all that, Giuliani has been running at the mouth the whole time talking crap about Ukraine and how he's has people in Ukraine. He done got Marie Yovanovitch fired, who was the ambassador to the Ukrainian government on the behest of the United States, got her fired because she was against anti-corruption. And of course, Donald Trump is nothing but corrupt. So of course, he wanted her out of here. So he got Giuliani to do it. And so Giuliani got with a lot of the corrupt officials in Ukraine, and they pushed her out. He had all this evidence, been talking about it for years. For the past 4 years, he's been running his mouth on Fox News about his entanglements with Ukraine. So the minute that this Justice Department was able to, wipe the state slate clean with all the Trump loyalists and really dig into some stuff, they went knocking on his door to pull whatever information they have of him or his dealings with the people in Ukraine, as they should have. I mean, he's talking about, it's attorney-client privilege, but it is not a privilege if you blat it out in public air. So that's where he went wrong. But so we shall see what happens with that, with the rest of these people in the Trump orbit. We shall see. But of course, our main focus is making sure that if you go get the vaccine, you get it. If not, that is your choice. I'm not even going into that. All I will say is they're pushing to have 70% of the population vaccinated by July, so everybody can enjoy their 4th of July. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I guess. I just think people are so, basically for me, it's about money. I really don't see no other thing about it other than money. People make money during the holidays, especially during the summer for vacations, and that's what they want, money. So they'll do whatever they need to do to make sure that they get money. Hold on one second. So I'll drop this down. Excuse me. I drank some water early and it went down the wrong way, and I've been coughing ever since. So but I was talking about that, and then there was something else that I was going to mention. Oh yeah, I did read about that. Excuse me. There was a girl, I didn't hear about it, but thank you for bringing it to my attention, Nate. The girlfriend of Dante Wright, who was in the car with him, he was the 20-year-old or 21-year-old young man who was shot by I think it was 3 officers, by the female officer who thought she was grabbing her taser, quote unquote. She was also arrested that day. Excuse me. She was also arrested that day. But what has gone unreported by so many outlets. And thank you, Nate, for sending this to me, because I heard about it, but when I went looking for it, I didn't see too much about it. Like, they glossed over it as if like, oh, she got arrested too, or they apprehended her. But the girlfriend of Dante Wright, the young man who was killed by the former police officer now, who claims she was using her taser, has a broken jaw, and she obtained that broken jaw while she was in custody with the police. So her family has definitely been pushing to actually have her represented and charges filed, of course, against the officers who caused injury to her. So she's dealing with a fractured jaw. Breonna Taylor's boyfriend is still fighting for his day in court for what happened to him during the raid in Breonna Taylor's apartment, when he was defending not only himself, but Breonna Taylor. And wind up still going to jail. And the police officer who he shot because they barged into an apartment unannounced is trying to sue him. So it's just crazy. It's just a whole bunch of craziness. I did have something else that I was. Yeah. So let's see. Yes, vaccine companies will definitely make more money. Yeah, and they are. They're talking about. First, of course, we were talking about, if there's a herd immunity, and herd immunity is when enough people in the population are vaccinated against whatever it could be, any kind of virus, to where the majority of people who are not, it really won't affect them and they'll be fine. However, Dr. Fauci's like, yeah, about that. There probably won't be. We'll be taking this shot pretty much off and on for a while now. It'll be something like the flu shot that you take at a certain time of the year, I guess, because the strains are so different. So they are unsure if we will ever get to a place where you could really like, woosah, we don't have to worry about this. So just let me know when you're ready, sir. Okay. So yeah, so really much that's about it. Yeah, but that's what I was talking about too. I just want to highlight this real quick. But that's what I was talking about. That was the reason why I even got into it a little bit with YouTube, because I was like, what are you talking about? I was telling people not to. It's not what I was saying. I was like, well, if anybody there who's, kind of editing or watching these videos to give them a thumbs up or thumbs down, please let them be educated on the Tuskegee experiment and other things that have happened to Black people. So to understand and be like, hey, okay, I get it. The apprehension that everybody ain't rolling up their sleeves like, okay, go ahead and stick me. So, I mean, I just don't get it. Hey, sir, how you doing?
Fine, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, sir.
Good. Everybody's doing well?
Yeah, everybody's well.
Good. That's because you didn't drink the brown first. You're supposed to drink the brown and have a water chaser.
No, I was drinking water while I was working, and it went down the wrong way. And I've been coughing up. You know what? Don't do it.
Now,
I did. Somebody was asking if I got the vaccine. I did. I took the first shot about a week ago now. The Pfizer shot, I took it. So then I have to take my second shot, and I should be good. I mean, to each his own. I know that I'm around other people, and I want to go see my grandmother. She is up in age, so I just want to make sure I am okay. She is the only one left, so I had to do what I got to do. So.
Yeah,
but
just make sure if you've already taken the one shot and you're supposed to go back for the second, make sure you complete that.
Yeah. Because it's no good if you don't complete it.
Yeah.
So
like,
the
what's
first
the point?
Right. The first one was okay. I didn't really have any issues, so hopefully the second one will be just as good, and I'll be good.
Mm-hmm. Take it on the weekend when you're off for a couple of days.
Yeah. Right. So what's going on? Anything new going on, sir?
No, man. Just watching the foolishness, and it's been relatively quiet. Now, now you know. Like I told you, you'd have got more likes if you show some more nip. You know
what? That was for a reason.
Yeah. Well, maybe the bag when he referred to the bag, maybe he was talking about the bag. That bag.
I don't know. I wasn't even watching. I was just told. I was told not to watch that. that. Don't watch that. People just like, oh, don't watch it. And I'm like, I'm not, but y'all do keep telling me.
I can say, yeah, but when everybody's running around telling you not to watch it, now you really want to watch it.
Right. Not really, but I'm not that type of person. Like, I really don't care. It's just, for the life of me, I just didn't understand it, and I still don't. It's like, you said something. Somebody has every right to respond, whether they respond now, today, tomorrow, next week, next year. Is their choice. How you put me in it because you're just too afraid to go after the person, that's beyond me. That doesn't make sense. And to be so educated, I find that to be a bit like, okay, I'll just put that in there. But I mean, other than that, you know, people joining the bandwagon, it's like, girl, please. Like, everybody really got time. Like, I really don't understand. Guilty feet have no rhythm. I will tell you that I got a call. And I was like, what are you calling me for? And all they was, it wasn't me. I didn't say nothing. I didn't say anything. It wasn't me. And it's just like, first of all, if you didn't, there'll be no need for you to call me.
To make a phone call.
You're calling me out of guilt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was guilt. So it was like, no worries. I ain't even worried about it.
Yeah.
It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. I know what it's not. So I'm going to continue to do me as I've been doing. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. If you don't, you don't. And, you know, that's just it. I mean, I've never been a, ooh, please like me type of guy ever in my life. And I'm not going to start. That's just it. I mean, I get it. A lot of people on here are now famous. Some people who, you know, growing up, it was really tough for you. You were bullied. You were made fun of. All these things. And now you get to be on here and be a bully. And you feel great because people amp you up. But at the end of the day, it's like, what about your real life? What about you?
Yeah.
Because once this is gone, like, this is on record. This is you on record. No matter how you try to, you know, dice it up, make it look good, this is you on public record.
Yeah.
All the foolishness, all the, I'm gonna take this down so nobody else can see it. Google owns it. Google owns it.
They have it.
All your employer needs to do is request it with legal documentation. And you know what they're gonna get?
Yep. Hand it right over.
All the videos, even the ones you claim you deleted. No worries. Here you go. And we want to talk about cancel culture. Just wait. A lot of people going to be on picket lines talking about some unfair practices. I'm just saying, know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Know what you're doing when you're doing it. Because if it seems fun and games and it's just entertainment. All right, cool. But that all depends on your job.
Yeah.
That all depends on what you do. If you ain't really doing nothing, you're cool.
I mean, all you have to do is see how many people have said things in the past, stuff that popped up from 10 years ago, and they're out of work.
Right, and they're explaining it now. I mean, we even talking about famous people on Twitter that done said stuff 10 years ago. And now, I've evolved since then, and I don't see people like that anymore. Okay. But
just say I was young and foolish, and I said dumb shit.
Right. But you can't be young and foolish. I mean, you can't really use that excuse for too long because at some point you just straight.
No, some people will always be young and foolish, no matter how old they are.
I don't know. It's just pretty pathetic if you ask me. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. It's just been like, okay, really? And then this whole thing of, oh, you got everybody. Like, first of all, no, I don't. Not even like that. But I mean, it's funny. It is funny. No, it's definitely not like that. If it was, I wouldn't be mad, but it's not. I'm quite selective.
You say you're quite selective?
I am.
Yeah, you need to be. You need to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing to be like, oh, I think, okay, thank you. But, you know, as far as like going that way, it's like, no, you got to be selective. You don't know who got what, and I'm not trying to get what anybody got. Thank you. So,
the gift that keeps on giving.
The gift you can't give back. I don't
Okay.
you know?
You got a receipt for that?
That's like a Nordstrom gift. You take.
Oh.
It's like a Nordstrom gift. You know what?
Oh, man.
Anything. No, thank you. No, thank you. So, you know. And, you know, so many people, for whatever reason. But I thank you, though. I thank you because it has brought far more people to my platform than YouTube even allowed me to. So I thank you.
That is a definite.
Yeah,
that is a definite.
So
they're blocking you on one end and it's screaming in the other end.
That's it. That's it. So like the saying goes, when one door closes, another door opens. And when somebody thinks they're trying to slam something in your face, don't you worry about it. Because how you react to it and how you proceed through it is what shows character. And that's it. I'm not here to, you know, a lot of people act like you like better than no, I just know who I am. I know who I am and I know from where I came from. So therefore, that's just what I carry. My own family used to go, oh, he's so arrogant. No, I just know what I know. And what I don't know, I don't try to act like I do. However, I definitely know who I am. I definitely know I am focused. I am this, I am that. And whatever you're not, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
You know?
And not only that, these people forget. I only know you through the screen.
That's it. That's it.
You know?
It's like
I only know you through the screen. I'm not going to see you tomorrow. You're not going to show up at my door. You know?
It's called the power button. And even if you did, and that's the thing, some people fail to realize, like you talking all this mess, just like some people have seen me, I have seen them. But that's not my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not my thing. You can keep that. And that's that on that.
Yes, but it was a busy week. We've had microscopic peens. I tell you, they were all over the place.
Even today, I was like, my God, I was like, really? Oh, come on, man.
You know what? Those people need to go and get their shot so they can get the hell up out the house. Yeah. And find something constructive to do.
Please. I need him to go get one like right now. I need him to find the closest place to get a shot and get one so he can get outside.
Because
inside.
And then these are terrible genitalia that's up here. I ain't never seen such sorry shit in all my life. Ugh, man.
I am going to start a new campaign on moisturizing.
No, they need to start pumping before they actually show shit. Don't show shit at the moment. You know you're not ready. It's going to take you half an hour to warm up. You need to warm up a half an hour. Because that one shot, I was like, what the fuck is, excuse me, what is that? Why? No, why is that?
Yeah, why is that?
You know? But they don't realize they'll mess it up for everybody. They'll start tighten restrictions and everything else up.
Yeah, I mean, they're already doing that. They're already doing that. And that's the thing. It's like you think you're doing something to knock somebody else in.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're hurting everybody because then the restrictions come to everyone.
Everyone. Yeah, you won't even be able to say boo.
No.
You think they're tight now?
Right. Pretty much, this is a free for all. That's why I'm not even hitting the button on this because you can't even mention that.
Yeah.
Without them going. So I'm not even hitting the button on this. So this is a free for all.
That's right, Patty. It wasn't even ready. It wasn't ready. It was not ready.
All I know is I just seen Rico, and Rico he needs to go get his shot like ASAP. Brother, I love you, but I need you to go get your shot so you could go out the house, have a good time,
and find something constructive to do. Go get some sunshine. Go out. Go for a walk. Like I said, go for a walk. Go for a walk.
Ride your bike further than the store. Just keep going for a little bit. Get some good air. Boy, I was like, what the hell? I was like, and turned around. I was like, okay, all right. I mean,
wow.
I'm a connoisseur. I looked. I was like, okay, but still, like, no, don't do that. Not here. Not this place.
Yeah.
Because you give them, and that's the thing. When you give people ammunition to use against you, you can't be mad when they use it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, give them that power.
And don't think that it goes away, because they'll pull it up at the most opportune time when they need to use it.
Yeah, even if it's like, oh, we passed that now. Oh, remember this? I don't believe in that. Like, let the powerless be powerless, and you keep your power. You could be angry and you could be mad and you could go off and you could do all of those things. But just make sure you keep a center about yourself where you don't need to resort to doing that. Because later, when you sober up, they use it against you.
Is he ever sober?
Yes, I think.
Oh, okay. Must be rare occasions.
Yes, I think. But yeah. Hey, what's going on, sir? What else? I think that's pretty much about it. I'm not doing nothing. Just really shooting craps. I didn't really want to get too deep because I was like, nope. Let's see. If you're a male, you need to moisturize.
No, they all need to moisturize.
Yeah, they all need to moisturize. Well, no, some don't need to moisturize too much because they probably would some people would mistake them for some kind of glazed ham or something. So maybe not too much. Maybe not too much.
Yeah, but you don't want. No, never mind. Never mind. Now, I just can't believe it. Like I said, it just has a lot. People just have too much time on their hands, and they just really need to get out of the house.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. We're all, hey, Auntie Donna, you are my auntie in my head, and I really liked your little song you had going. I thought it was cute, Auntie Donna. But yeah, people do have a lot of time on their hands, and too much time. I mean, it's a good time to reflect and be reflective of things that's going on, of yourself. Pursue other things or kind of make a plan of where you want your life to go. Where do you see yourself? I think that could be more
65 years old, flashing dick.
Yeah.
That's what I've always wanted to do with my life.
Telling people to kiss your ass, literally.
Hey, kiss your ass.
Yeah. But no, brother, I love you. It's all love. But I just stop giving these people this power.
Yeah.
Stop giving.
Like I said, they just have to remember they have never met. Well, at least a lot of them have never met these people before.
Yeah, and they probably won't.
And they probably won't. Yeah. And some of them you shouldn't meet because there's a lot of crazy.
Yeah,
there's a whole lot of crazy. As you can see, there's a whole lot of crazy.
There is a whole lot of crazy. And just keep your peace guarded. Don't ever let nobody get to you to that level.
Yeah.
Where you're
oh yeah, especially not a stranger.
Yeah, I mean that most of all. That most of all. Like Tanari told me in the message, oh, don't let these people get to you. I'm just a crown straightener. I said, thank you, but know that the person that placed this crown on my head, it ain't moving. So I ain't even got to worry about it falling because it would never fall. But I do have to make sure that I don't give anything power that I don't see it for. And if I don't see it for you, I'm not giving you power. So I just did what I did because I don't I don't need you even seeing me thinking, oh, do you have that? No, let me let you see this. You can see that there's nothing there. Thank you. Moving right along. Next. So you know, now that we know that, I thought reads were supposed to be that which are part truth or based in somewhat truth with a
based in
truth,
truth.
but it's supposed to be based in truth. So clearly we know that your reads, quote unquote, if that's what you call them, your elementary school books, are of lies. So that makes it fun.
Yeah.
I guess.
But when you're out there reading too, you're supposed to be reading the person that you're upset with. You just don't go around. You just don't go around just dragging anybody into
in
it.
Mix. Right? Because you can't. But that's the reality of it. You can't. It's not even the fact that, I could see if I actually played a part, then it'd be like, okay, cool, I deserve that. But it's like, I didn't even play a part in this. You said it out your own mouth, and the person has every right to respond whenever he or she chooses to. So then what I got to do with that? Oh, I get it. You can't respond because you think I'm an easy target. No, it's not that I'm an easy target. I just choose not to engage with you.
Engage in the foolishness.
Yeah, because your argument ain't with me. It's with him. But you too afraid to go there. That's fine.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
But then too, you piss people off when you don't respond. That's the best thing. When you don't even flinch your face, you want to piss a motherfucker off real easy.
That's why I just
you pay him dust.
Because that's what they are. At the end of the day, I mean, didn't the Lord say so? From the dust you came, from the dust you shall return. I'm just making it quicker. That's all. That's all. I'm just saying. I'm not worried about it. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, great, good. Hope you had your laugh, because at the end of the day, the person you need to be going after, you're not, because he's going to drag you by every bit of whatever you have. He will continuously drag you as he's
Lord,
rubbing his chest, and then and he will wear a wig every day, a piece every day, a color every day, and continue to drag you up and down, up and down, up and down, until he gets tired of dragging you.
And he'll turn on. He'll keep going and going and going.
He'll drag you every opportunity he get. Every time he comes on the camera, even if he's talking about something serious, the first 5 minutes will be about dragging the person, and then he will continue with his commentary,
and then come back to it. It's like, damn, don't you breathe?
Right. I'm good enough to know that. So it's just like, if you ask him, like, why would you? Well, why not do that? If you pick the person who you have the battle with and make it be accurate. Don't be picking, just cause, like, because first and foremost, you got that all the way mixed up, because that's not even how it happened. But of course, you want to make it interesting. You're going to say stuff to make it interesting, but it's like, that's not quite how it happened, but I get it. I get it. But, it's like, at the end of the day, I don't have, again, there's far too more stuff. There's far more important stuff, relevant stuff going on in the world than, irrelevant things. Yeah. Especially when, at the end of the day, they're just words. And the crazy bit is, okay, cool. If all that was true, I wouldn't be able to fix that, right? That was something I was born with, or whatever condition, whatever it would be something I was born with. Explain yours. Explain why you look like that, big as hell, or, just plain ugly. I mean, explain that. Because you could lose weight, but you choose not to. You could, do all these things, but obviously it doesn't work. So, I mean, I'm not understanding. Like, if you could fix it, then fix it. You sitting up here talking about somebody, and you obviously, like, and then we were talking about somebody being handicapped or whatever. All right, cool. But I bet you got a placard too. No way in hell you park in the back of a supermarket and walk to the door. I'll wait. Tell me you do. Still waiting. Be dead and out of breath by the time you get halfway through the parking lot. Like, who are we fooling? Like, we don't see you. Just because they don't tell you what you look like, don't mean you don't look like what you look like. I'm confused. So that's why I was just like, you know what? I'm going to woosah. I'm going to just sit back. I'm not going to say nothing because it's not important to say. But at the end of the day, it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Because I can park at the back of the store and walk to the front. I can make it to the bathroom without, having an accident. But that's what happens when you're moisturized. You don't think of dry shit to say that don't really make sense when you really know yourself and you look at yourself and you spewing out stuff and you like, but damn, I ain't much different. Because technically, under the definition of handicap, yeah, there's a wide range of levels of handicap. So, I mean, it's like, girl, you got a placard, you got a hook, and it's blue or whatever color it is in your state. I'm sure. Whether you keep it in your glove compartment or hang it on your window, you got one. And that's it. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Okay. Well, that's that's the therapy session there.
Yep. Hi, Victoria. How you doing? Yeah, that was my wellness moment. I just had to get that out.
That's the wellness part of the show.
I just had to get that out because I just I don't mind because this is YouTube. People gonna say what they're gonna say, but it's like for me, stop poking me. Like really, stop doing that. Like you say what you say, let it be. Like stop doing that because I'm not that one. Yeah, I may be kind of mild-tempered or gentle or even you sound like Michael Jackson. Yeah, all right, but don't let me moonwalk on your ass.
No, I don't think Michael's voice is that deep.
But that too, you know what I'm saying? Like
now maybe when he was around a lot of black people, it'd be something different. Right. You know how that shit go.
Right, but then that's the stuff that like it's like okay, really cool, okay, haha, like, but really, seriously, come on, look at you, like take the mirror and really look at you, and then think to yourself, should I really be saying shit like, okay, yeah, all right. Cool. Whatever could be going on may be going on. But at the end of the day, this face came from some beautiful parents. I wish I could say the same for some. And I'm still able to pick up he's, she's, we's, and everybody. And and they ride along with it. Like, oh, okay, whatever, cool. Some people ain't, and that's cool. But there's definitely no bag situation going on. Not at all. And not to offense against anybody who has one for their conditions that they may have to have one. Not at all. But again, for those that do have it and they want to talk about somebody who or claim that somebody else has one, it's like look inward in your own circle and find out who has one before you go trying to call somebody else having one. Come on. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Again, if you're going to read, let it be based on facts, not BS. Not BS. Because reading is what? Fundamental. Fun for your mental. Supposed to be anyway. But anyway, hey, Lady P, how you doing? Victoria, welcome. She she wants you. I mean, and then that's the reality too. Like the reality is, honestly, would I? No, absolutely not. No. Do I even think you're a great person? You could be, but your attitude is what would make me not even entertain you. The way you carry yourself would make me not entertain you. Because your attitude is ugly. The way you say stuff or jump on bandwagons when you don't even have a dog in the fight is ugly. Most of these people I ain't said nothing to. I've been supportive. I'll pop down. I say hello. And it's like, you got something to say too? Wow, really? Cool. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. People get new shit and want to act brand new, I guess. I mean, okay. But again, that just tells you difference. Like my mom used to always say, when people don't have nothing, you can tell the difference from when people who didn't grow up with nothing to the people who grew up with something. Because when you didn't grow up with nothing, when you get something, you act a plumb fool. But when you grew up with something, when you get it or you get more of it, you know how to conduct yourself and act. That's all. It just shows a lot of character on here. And it's more than just, oh, it's just for YouTube. It's just for YouTube. Click the views. No, it's more. It's more. A lot of broken motherfuckers on here. And I'm not a fixer.
Oh, there's a whole lot. A whole lot.
I am not a fixer. I'll just do what I do and keep it moving. Like I'll just do what I do and keep it moving. But yeah, it's a lot of broken people. And they think that, other things should sustain them or make them whole. No, hey, those are things that you just use to decorate your brokenness. It was nothing to do with anything else but to decorate your brokenness. Because at the end of the day, you still broken.
Well, and YouTube is nothing but a microcosm of the real world in the first place.
Real world, high school, or
so
school.
As we can plainly see,
right. It's like
as we definitely can plainly see.
Yeah, it's like I never had to fight for attention or ooh, I want the cool kids to like me. I was like and didn't even know, you know what I'm saying? Like I would go places and I kid you not, my mom would come to campus to pick me up and I'd be someplace else. And she'd ask, walking to hey, have you seen? And everybody would point her to a direction where I was. And she'd be like, what do you do? What do you be doing out here? You be partying and stuff. I mean, I did party a little, but it wasn't nothing like that. It was
just, the lies you tell, right?
Really not at first.
Yeah, not at first. Yeah, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I'm talking about the beginning, early in the beginning. Second semester. Them years, the beginning, because she was like coming every weekend. My dad, because the outlets was not too far, so he was always finding an excuse like, don't you want to go to outlets? And they would make the drive. But they would always, she, well, what do you be doing? Because I asked everybody, and everybody was pointing me like, yo, he went down this way, he went down that. I'm like, Mom, first of all, no, I don't be doing all that. Secondly, I just am who I am, and I'm the only one here. So but it's cool. You know that people actually paying attention to you. So there's some people that graduation in high school, people never even knew. Like I walked across the stage, I was like, oh my God, I never knew something was wrong. But like playing yourself, like we was in school all 4 years. How could you not know? That's because you didn't look at me like that. And that's cool. But that's me. I didn't, it just happened. I was, God made me the way God made me. But at the end of the day, I took what God made and made it even greater. By just being me. Not worried about what people thought about me or what they think about me. I could give a goddamn. Because at the end of the day, the person that molded me and made me who I am, I always champion. So whether you don't like it when I say my mother didn't raise me to be this way, my mother didn't raise me to be this way, that's because she didn't. That's because she didn't. She always raised me to fight for me and to be the best me I could be and always be representing her at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I do get out of line, I always hear her up. Watch it. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like, okay, I won't go that far. I'll just keep it. But that's me. I can't speak for everybody else. I can only speak for me. And that, people get all caught up in that, especially here, like you making fun of it, or you talking about them. Honey, if the shoe fits, you have to wear it. If it fits, you have to wear it. But I'm not talking about you. But if you feel like I'm addressing you, then that's something within you. There's nothing to do with me. I just, like I said, I have to speak about me and my existence and how I was brought up and the things I was brought up on. I've seen it all. I have family members that, fell to the wayside and others that did not. We just, my mother didn't want it for us. Period. My brother tried it. And she nicely told his ass, okay. He did that one phone call, Ma, could you come get me? She turned over in the bed and told my father, you better go get your son. And he never did it again. We were raised differently. My brother was older, so he got to do all the crazy shit. He was the test dummy. But when time we came along, there was no testing involved. Period. Point blank. You go where I say go. You do what I do. Until you get old enough, you can do what you want. Until then, so I can't speak for other people on here. I can't. I try to be as, respectful as possible. Like I was watching Fi Babe, and I saw she said that she was looking for me. And I was like, well, I sent you an email, but okay, cool. I didn't know, no big deal. I didn't know nothing about it. So I just responded in the reply, said, I sent you an email, but I didn't get a response. And one lady was like, well, did you respond back to so-and-so? So I don't have to respond back to that because the real person that person should be responding to is not me. So I don't have nothing to do with that. You're just picking me, of course, because you think I'm an easy target. Cool, great. Okay. But at the end of the day, it makes you look away. It don't make me look shit. It makes you look away. Because, again, there we go with, we see it. We know who the real person is that you need to be addressing, a quote unquote addressing. We know who it is. But you coming at me, people sitting over here talking about something. What? Well, why'd you do that? I mean, I guess because he mentioned his name, but still, why'd you do that? It just makes you look a little weak sauce. I'm just saying. Oh well. And right, different strokes, different folks. And I could still stroke, even being different.
Well, you know what I say. If you don't pimp yourself, shit, somebody else will.
I can't help the confidence. I can't help it. That came with the package. It really did. Like, it's a take it or leave it type of deal with me. I don't really have no, oh, woe is me. I'd be looking at people like, what's the problem? Like, I don't get it. Fix it then, damn it. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Fix it. That's all you got to do is fix it. But you got to be willing to do the work. And again, that's what
most people don't.
Yeah,
they'd rather complain about it and never figure out how to make it easier for them. Yeah.
Or they just, wallow in it and then, pick apart other people. And you think you quote unquote reading somebody or dragging somebody. Like, no, you're insecure. You're this, that, and the other. You're all these other things that you have not addressed because you're too busy, trying to cover up and protect yourself by thinking you going after this one and that one. And it's just like, at the end of the day, girl, God, whatever. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. Because yourself is the read. Like, the reality is, yourself is the read.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter how, and that's for anybody. Like I never come up here toting degrees and status and all that kind of stuff because I think that's materialistic, and that is one thing. Again, I was never raised that way. Yeah, she could afford a Jordan. We could afford plenty Jordans, but that's not what we was getting. The budget was $80, and you got whatever $80 was.
Yeah, you work with what Mama had.
And if you wanted something and it was more than $80, oh well then I'll get it. But you ain't getting no extra money left over. That's it. You know, so we were like,
no, you just better be happy. Be happy it was new. What kind of tennis shoes I got? New.
Oh no. Well, see, that's a lifestyle I didn't have. Like, you know, I was blessed to not have that kind of lifestyle where I had to be like, well, they had to be new shoes and they came from wherever. No, we went to Foot Locker. We went to this, that, and then we wore uniforms too. Well, we did. Again, different. My brother did not. He went to public school. My mother was like, no, I got the lesson. Y'all coming with me. You know what I'm saying? So
he messed it up for all of y'all.
Right, exactly. Constantly. That's why I tell him all the time, like, you messed it up. We wore uniforms, but she allowed, and only because a lot of times my brother would be like, come on, they wear uniforms, you gotta give them sneakers. So she would kind of bend on the sneaker bit, but everybody be like, yo, where you get those from? Yo, you get those. I was like,
look, my mother used to stroke out over $14 what they call Jack Purcells. At $14, and I look at what I pay for a pair of tennis shoes now.
Right.
She would definitely stroke.
Right.
Like, what are you doing?
Hey, Natasha, how are you? Yeah, no, I my mom was just different. Like she just taught us not to be materialistic like that. We didn't.
Yeah, because it doesn't last. That's the part.
There was no chain, no earrings. I mean, I wanted one, and she got me one years later, and it was a cross. And I'm like, what am I gonna do with a cross? No, I'm not gonna wear this out to be like, oh yeah, rocking with Jesus. Like, this is not fly. This is for church.
She's gonna get you what she wanted you to have. You wanted the chain, is gonna be what she wanted you to have.
But my point was, like I said, she's never raised us to be materialistic. So in gloating and all that kind of stuff, that's never been her thing. So it was never a thing of doting your accomplishments or making people small because of their accomplishments. And I even use that with the wording choices that I use. People are, oh, well, get some intelligent people in here. First of all, I'm not only intelligent, but I have plenty of intellect to go with it. However, sometimes to reach people and to reach more people, you cut out a lot of the extra that will go over people's heads. And you just if you can't speak the language, you just talk. And and being black, we speak a lot of languages and don't realize it. Right. And it's sometimes you just talk. You'll reach more people that way. If you're just being king and just no holds barred, you're not really sitting up there trying to lecture and be a professor in front of people. You just, hey, I'm down here. We just go shoot it. This is what it is. This is how I explain it. Hopefully you get it, and that's it. But that's just it. It has nothing to do with, again, nobody thinking, oh, I'm better than. I know I'm good.
No, what's really bad is when you oversimplify a statement by saying 30 or 40 words that you could have said with 10.
Right. And you're like, okay, yeah. Let's see. Oh, Chuck Taylor. Like my brother was spoiled. He was really spoiled. That was from his grandparents on his side and his aunts on his father's side and stuff like that. But we weren't spoiled like that. So it was just like, that's cute. But Ma, you should get. Hey, what's going on, Armand? What's going on, Mr. Jordan? So hey, Summer Breeze. Sorry if I didn't say hi to everybody. I was just rumbling off at the mouth, but yeah. So, and I'm blessed for it. You know what I'm saying? Like I know a lot of times because we used to go like it was always like do this. Why? I was the why kid. I was always the why. No. You need to explain this. this don't make sense to me because I don't see everybody else doing it. So I'm trying to figure out why. Why are we doing this? And of course, it got me in trouble a lot. But at the end of the day, she grew to understand.
You
And
actually got to say why?
huh?
I said
Yeah,
you actually got to say,
yeah,
boy.
yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. Mm-mm.
Or her famous one was because my brother used to do this all the time. He would eat something and leave his plate.
Oh no.
Yeah, he eat something and leave his plate. I'd be walking by the dining room and she'd be like, "Get that plate off the dining room table." And I'd look at her and go, "But he left it there." She'd go, "I know, but go get it." I'm like, "But why'd you?" And then that would turn into now you're gonna go get it and you're gonna watch it. And I'm just like, "Well, I gotta see this is why we would go back and forth and
Back and forth.
And we're like, why don't you just be quiet? Why don't you just because it's not fair. Because you know you did it. Why don't you just do it? Like, and thing about it is that's the crazy part. They've grown up, both my twin sister and him have grown up that way. And they're almost like in adulthood the same way. And so like it's weird. And I'll just be sitting back like, y'all mofos. It's crazy. Y'all crazy.
No. By the time I came along 10 years later, it was none of that foolishness.
We're only 6 years.
Even if I thought that I wanted to say why.
We're only 6 years apart. So
See, they call what I used to get, they call that child abuse now.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Speaking of child abuse, did you happen to run across that story down in Florida about the principal paddling the student?
Yeah. The principal padding, using the paddle against the 6-year-old. So there was a 6-year-old, I think they were Spanish speaking, child who damaged a computer, and they called the mother. The Spanish interpreter called the mother and said, "Hey, you have to get here now and pay $50 for the damaged computer." So she said, "Okay," and brought the money. So because she didn't understand what was being done, she just pulled out her phone and started recording. So the principal proceeded to pull out a paddle and beat the little girl. And then went on to say, if your mother came in here and wanted to beat you like that, we would watch and enjoy it. It's like, this is a 6-year-old though. Because I'm sure if Becky or Bob or Ken whatever was in there, you would not have pulled out that paddle.
And you saw that they were getting ready to pull her pants down.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. And I was mad at even the assistant holding her. Like,
yeah. Like, first of all, nobody else is going to put their hands on my child.
God. Right. But she said she didn't. I think she told the translator, I guess, when they interviewed her, that she didn't want to step in because she didn't want, I guess, something legal to happen, and then probably.
Yeah, and supposedly, I think she was undocumented.
Yeah. She didn't want to get deported.
And that was the other thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Did we even have? We did not have corporal punishment down here. I think the worst thing I might have gotten is the ruler to the knuckles, and that was about it.
Okay. Well, I only remember one incident where, first of all, to be very clear, I was too afraid to get in trouble in school because that was my mother's sleep time plus her 1 o'clock. She watched All My Children, so if she got a phone call from my teacher,
yeah, you break up mama's routine.
What?
Especially after working nights.
What?
Oh yeah.
That's a behind whooping. When you come through the door, if she got to come to the school, forget about it. It's a wrap for you for at least a month. But so I was always afraid. Plus my brother, he was older, so he would get in that trouble. And I already know what that brought. It was like, well, she went and got the cord on you. She didn't even go for help. That's bad. You about to get it. because he was a skipper. He was a school skipper, and this was before they used to do the recording. By the time he was in high school, they would do the recording, and I'd be like, "Stupid, you do know?" Because she'd be like, my mother was type, she'll pop up. She's a pop up mom, so she would even have my teachers, and like, why didn't you tell us your mother was coming? I didn't know. You didn't know your mother was coming? No, she don't tell us. She don't tell us like she don't tell you. So we all
yeah, they just come up. They just pop up. Next thing you know, they're standing outside the door of your room, wherever class you're in.
Off guard. Like she would do it to my brother first, and then when she finished with him, she would come to
make her rounds.
Yeah, she would come to my sister-in-law's school, and they'd come. Like my science teacher, one time she came. She interrupted the class and said, "Yo, did you know your mother was coming?" I said, "Nope." Well, she's here. I said, "Okay." Like, oh, what do you want me to tell? Like, I guess she's just asking you questions. But my mom was very thorough. Like, she wanted to know everything. She wanted you to pull out everything. So if you weren't prepared, it was like, okay, duly noted, you're not prepared. So she would probably make them feel a certain type of way. So they would look at me and be like, well, why didn't you tell us? Like, I didn't know I was supposed to tell you guys that my mom was coming. But my brother, I say all that to say my brother would mess everything up because he would skip school. And my mother would literally sit through his classes, the whole class, take tons of notes. She would take the whole class notes, flip through, go to every class he wasn't in, and take the notes, go to the next class, like she was a student, literally taking notes. He'd get home and be like, hey, how was school? School's good. What you learn? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, really? Oh, that's not what so-and-so said. He was like, he talked about this, and your homework is this, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I was like, see, yeah, I would never. I could never, but I don't know. It's just crazy. Velocity. What's going on? Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's how my mother was. If my mother came to the school because of me, everybody was in trouble. Like I'd get the beating at home, but y'all would get it. Y'all would get it. Y'all would get it then, and I'll be sitting.
But then again, like I said, there's nowhere in the world I would allow anybody to put their hands on my child.
Yeah. I wouldn't care. I would just deal with the deportation. I mean, I would have just dealt with it. There's no way. I
tell you, I became an instant father, and my wife was like, "I want you to discipline him." I was like, "Girl, I ain't touching them." I said, "I ain't touching them." Right. I'll fuss.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of person I'll fuss for 3 years about the same thing.
Yeah.
Every time I walk by, and it is, it's like, please just shut up or die. You just.
Yeah.
And I think I only had to discipline my son once. And that was for like stealing or something like that. Shit, I was more fucking tired than he was.
Child, let you be walking by, you be like, "Huh, oh, can I get this $1 to go to the run to the store?"
We did the whole thing in the car. No, you didn't get out the car. Don't ask for nothing. Don't look at nothing. Don't touch nothing.
Yeah, we always got that one too. But it'd be like,
this is all I have.
If it was just like, "Oh, we're gonna go to the ice cream truck. Can we use $1?" And she'll say, "Yeah." And then later when she trying to do something, she'll forget that she told you, "Yeah." Oh, she'd make you feel like you stole the whole bank. You be like, "Really?" But you said yes. You just forgot. It's okay. Like, she just take it out of my allowance. I don't care.
No, that's no.
Yeah,
that was just, that whole thing was just, that was a bit much.
Yeah, it was. Corona, though. That's what I thought it was a bit much though.
What was that?
In this age of Corona with all that, I thought it was a bit much. Like you couldn't find a different way to discipline.
Yeah.
I mean,
some kids you can talk to.
Yeah.
And some you can't. So I do understand disciplining them, but not with the paddle. Even at home, not with the paddle. That's a bit much.
Yeah, she didn't strike me as that type of kid.
And at that age,
yeah, 6, yeah.
that age was, even though the kid looked bigger than that.
Yeah, she looked about.
Yeah, I was gonna say 7 or 8. That's what I thought, and I was like, I'm surprised that the kid didn't turn around and say, "Go fuck yourself." Who did you put your hands on me, motherfucker? I'm gonna slit your throat. And I was like, all right, but this was like a little kid,
Yeah.
And I was just surprised at the mother because I'd be whipping her. I'd be whipping the principal's ass and the interpreter's ass. With the paddle.
Right, that part. I don't know, but I don't know what'll stop people. I guess until a lot of more people get canceled or fired for a lot of these acts that they do.
Well, you have to show it. That's the good thing about the phones.
I was just about to say that is about one of the hugest blessings of this whole age or digital age of recording and all that kind of stuff. It's like, had it not been exposed, who knows how many other children have been beat by this principal. Exposed.
And I believe in her county they can't do that.
Right.
I know in the state they can, but I believe in that county they can't.
Yeah, in the county they can't, but in the state they can. Yeah. Well, did she? That's what I'm saying. Like, did she break the computer on purpose? Right, Lady P.
Yeah. You're talking about a 6-year-old. You're talking about a 6-year-old.
And the amount of money that they asked her to bring in, $50. It's like, what could she have broken on a computer for $50?
Look, you're not going to buy a monitor for $50.
You're not.
Or anything.
You may be able to get a cheap mouse for under $50.
Well, if you go to a secondhand store, you might be able to find.
Maybe that's what it was. But then it's like, okay, how?
No, you're not gonna discipline my child and then have me bring up money to pay for it.
Yeah, that part was crazy.
That was probably a county school.
Yeah.
So. They're not going to do that in the city. You ever wonder why they don't have any mass shootings in the city? You ever try to get into a city school? You can't get in the city school. You will stop at that door. You would have made an appointment beforehand. They're not letting your ass in. Right. You don't get in.
Yeah.
You definitely. And there's only one way in and one way out.
That's it. That is it.
Yeah, 6 years old.
She was really 6. Yeah. I don't know, December Baby. I don't think so. I don't think she was.
No.
I don't think she was. And if she was, that would make it even worse. A little
worse.
That would make it a little worse. But I don't think she was.
Yeah. And that's still a no.
Yeah. I mean, it's a level of even, disciplining a child in that setting, but a paddle was kind of way over.
No, the disciplining should have been left up to the parent.
Right. All you do is I never forget the one time, and this is my last story. I was in elementary school, and I never forget the guy's name. I ain't gonna tell it, but because y'all probably try and look him up. But anyway, he was acting a plum fool in class, like a plum fool. And I never forget. Her name was Miss West at the time. It was our teacher, and she said, "Boy, you keep acting up. I'm calling your mother." And we was all like, "Ooh, boy, she shouldn't have done that." That was the first time I've ever seen a woman use the strap of her pocketbook, unhook it, and beat her son in front of the entire class. And all we had to do was put our heads down, and most of us was like this, like, "Oh, son, this way." He said, "If I catch any of you lifting your heads up, I'm calling your mama too." And I was like, "Let me go back down. My mother will definitely be on this show." Yep, I'm gonna get mine too. I was like, wow. But that was the first time I seen it. I was like, wow. He never acted up again in class.
No.
I wouldn't either. But yeah,
you should just drag him off into the restroom.
Yeah,
and you hear him screaming all the way in the hallway.
Right. No, I guess she wanted to just embarrass him in front of, like, "Oh, you want to be the class clown? I'm gonna make you the class clown today and for the rest of your life, as long as these people remember you getting your time beat in class." So yeah, but other than that, yeah, in that instance and like many other instances, leave it to the parent to actually discipline their child. You let the parent know what's been going on in the classroom, the disturbance, and do it at that. But to ask to bring the money and you gonna beat my child, yeah, you doing too much. Doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep,
But like I said, she's probably so nervous because of her situation.
Right. It was like, sure, no problem. I'll why does the New York Times article say the principal is being investigated? Yeah, they said she was being investigated.
Yeah.
They said she was being investigated. Oh, did you hear? Speaking of people being investigated, did you hear about the cursing teacher on the Zoom?
There was a lot of those. There was a whole lot of those.
Well, this one was talking about George Floyd, and he was like, he's a fucking criminal, and blah 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 blah. And basically, he was going after the black students in the class.
And what did they do? Record it?
Yeah, and so they recorded it. But at first, the school didn't do anything about it. The school didn't do anything about it until it went viral, and then a lot of the people were complaining. So then they turned around and said, "Well, this, that, and the other." So then they escalated it. So now he does no longer work for this. He doesn't work at the school, and he's been let go. But yeah, there's been a lot of that going on. So
yeah,
I just think
that's what happens when you have old people that don't know technology.
Yeah, I mean, or just people in general that are, at the end of the day, those same people that was storming the Capitol had normal jobs like teachers and this, that, and the other.
Then run home and post. We went down to the Capitol.
We went down to the Capitol. We stormed that bitch. Yeah. And then next thing you know, the FBI is knocking at your door. You're like, but I was just following the orders of the president. Like, okay.
Now, and I've heard a lot of parents have just been sitting. They're in the same room as the kids as they're learning from home, and they're listening to what's going on.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a couple of clips where a couple of mothers have gotten on there and read the teacher.
I saw that too. Yeah, when the teacher up there and she dropped them like, and get off the line. She's leaving right now. But yeah, that particular one, the student, she recorded it and she let her mom see it afterwards because her mom was at work actually. Her mom complained to the school and they didn't do anything. He continued to teach and continued to curse out the students, and it went viral. She had already went to the school board and then they escalated. So
yeah. So and one thing we have to pay attention to also is how long have some of these clips have been out there. Right. Because some of them you just assume that it happened yesterday, and it's been like 6 months later, nothing has happened.
Yeah. Very true. Well, right, you guys, it's been real as always. Thank you guys for hanging out for another.
I'll submit my bill.
Sure. Not a problem.
I'm glad I got my drink in early.
Yeah. I had to do it. Yeah, this wasn't the day. This really wasn't.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can definitely imagine.
What do you think about children's lawyer wanting to reach out? Yeah, we talked about in the beginning. I talked about that in the beginning. I think it was just something that they always knew. Now, my issue would be, as I stated early in the beginning, my issue would be if the prosecution knew. Now, if the prosecution knew and still let this juror sit on the jury without informing the judge and all that, you put the trial at risk.
Yeah.
So
there's usually, when they're going through that whole, was it voir dire procedure, there's usually, but they'll ask you, have you ever done? And if they're not specific, that would be kind of hard to do.
The movie called Runaway, or Runaway Jury. That's the name of the movie. With, I can't think of his name right now, but anyway, it's about that, picking a jury for a case, and they have someone who specializes and picking certain people to ensure
Mm-hmm.
a particular type of verdict. And I'm sure both lawyers had that person who analyzes the jurors to make sure, hey, they are, who they are. And they've gone and done all this kind of stuff. So who knows? But I was just like, really like, wow, if the prosecution knew this the whole time, they really messed up. So,
Mm-hmm.
but hopefully,
like I said, they're gonna pull everything out of their asses,
Yeah. And then that part I wasn't surprised either. I'm like, they're gonna pull everything out, so it doesn't even matter at this point. Like, I'm not surprised.
But that's okay because we still have matches.
Right.
You can still get it.
Yeah.
It ain't an issue, ain't a problem.
It really isn't. And at this point, what kind of jury would you be able to find?
Oh yeah, you may find anybody.
Yeah.
Nobody at all.
You may not find anybody, even if you have to do another trial, that has not seen it at this point. So the best bet is to find another avenue. Let him serve 2 years. Do like Homegirl. Let him serve 2 years, and then while everybody not thinking about it, try to dip off.
Yeah, they haven't given her an answer yet, have they?
No, not yet.
Because I was looking for that. I couldn't find anything on it.
Nope, not yet. They haven't given her an answer yet. But if they do give her an answer, they're gonna give her an answer privately, and then when
you hear about her as she's walking out the door,
she'll already be gone. They'll show a video of her walking out the door, but you won't know where she went to.
Yeah. Crazy.
It's always crazy. So hopefully one day we'll get some true justice, and it won't be just officers who happen to be black or officers of color who actually get in trouble for real. For the same stuff, you know what I'm saying? Or sometimes minor, not even to that degree of murdering someone. So we'll see. We shall see. But
yeah, quick question. On the from last week when we were discussing the OJ Simpson, give me your theory about the son killing the mother.
Okay, so this is definitely my theory, and I've watched this. When I find the video again, I will send it to you. But it's this private investigator who, at first was trying to find the killer, but he found a whole bunch of other stuff, and it really, when he pieced it together, it made total sense. So the night that OJ's son, right, had a job as a sous chef at a restaurant, right. So when the little sister finished her thing or whatever, he had planned to have the surprise dinner or the congratulational dinner at his restaurant, right? So he called Nicole and was like, hey, I got my boss to let us use the restaurant for Nicole's dinner. I think it would be great because I think he was just trying to, do his part for his little sister or whatever. Because apparently, he ain't too right upstairs. So he was trying to do something for his little sister. He thought that would be a good gesture. At first, Nicole was all gun-ho for it, right? So he was cool. So apparently, she changed her mind, decided not to do OJ's son's restaurant where he worked and did something else. Didn't tell him. He was furious. So what he did was he left work because he had his girlfriend. He told his girlfriend to pick him up, right? He left work, went to the house, slit her throat, slit his throat, headed back to the restaurant, right, to be picked up. His girlfriend was already there. She had gotten there. She went there early just so she can get him because he was upset that Nicole didn't decide to come to the restaurant. She didn't let him know. She was upset. He was upset. So she decided to go to the restaurant early. She got to the restaurant early. She's talking to the owner like, hey, where's so-and-so? Like, he's not here. Like, where did he go? We made to pick him up. I don't know where he went. So then here he comes. Like, hey. And she's like, hey, where you been? I've been here waiting for you. Oh, I had to go do something, blah, 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 blah. So she was like, she's always said that he was a little weird. That whole situation was weird. And the reason why I say him, because they say that the way that he also said that the way she was cut and the way he was cut, as far as the knife is concerned, that's the type of knife that you would only see in a restaurant setting that a chef would use or a sous chef would use in those type of settings that would actually cut the skin like nothing, just straight. And that's definitely nothing that a person just grabbing from their, their utensil, like regular knife would be able to do. He was like, not to that degree. He was like, that definitely comes from professional ass grade A knives. Then he also said that the reason why OJ's prints and stuff were there, or his shoes, because his son had told him what he did. And he was like, I guess in that, no, you didn't, like, no, and went to go see what he did and saw it and left. That's why the lady saw him pulling out of her, or turning in her block, or some way this lady, she saw him as she was turning and he was turning, because he had just came from the house because the son called him and said, hey, Dad, I messed up. So this whole time he's been covering up for his son. And I was like, I could see that. I could see that. I could see that only because it just don't. I mean, him being mad and beating her up and all that kind of stuff, I could see. Or even beating the guy up or all that kind of stuff, I could see. Him actually killing her,
like I told you last week, you haven't seen a man who's been scorned.
Yeah, I mean, how scorned could he be? He was knocking up Chris.
Oh,
he wasn't that scorned.
You don't mean who you know is double standard.
Everybody else. He was knocking up Chris and everybody else. I think it was the son. I think he's been covering up for the son the whole time. I think.
I don't believe they had DNA testing back then.
No, but even that, even if they did do DNA testing, it would still connect. It would still connect OJ, but it wouldn't be fully OJ. And I think they even did do, and it was inconclusive. That's because it's part of OJ, but it's not OJ.
Well, I'll tell you one thing for sure. There's only one person that knows what truly happened. He's probably dead now, and that's the dog. And he's probably dead. They probably took his ass for a walk. Come here, puppy. Yeah, and slashed his throat.
Yeah.
You know, it was real funny. I was watching Pose, and they did a thing, and they were talking about. I started rolling. I was like,
"That's crazy though," because I remember like being glued to the TV, like, "Oh my god, he's running away! Oh, he's gonna oh, they're gonna kill him!" And then my dad said the same thing. They're not gonna kill that.
Gonna kill him. Look how slow he's driving. They didn't even block him in.
Right.
A 35-mile-an-hour speed chase, right?
Now, and that's why I felt some type of way when he was talking shit about LeBron James saying stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, sir, realize that you were privileged enough to, even if you didn't do what you did, know who did it, was able to kind of get away with, or whatever. And even through the chase and all that, nothing happened to you. You was able to go in the house, hug your mother, say goodbye to everybody till you was ready to walk back out, and then they took you in.
No, like on Pose when Pray Tell said they're not gonna kill him. See that driveway? See those shrubberies? You're not gonna kill hhave I was like, yeah, well, that's true.
Right, because he would have been toast. Forget about it.
Yeah, they'd have popped him in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat, talking about America's favorite football player. Who?
Another black guy.
We'll find another one. Right. We'll find another one.
Yeah, we'll find it. Right. I got nervous.
Yeah, right. I was scared for my life. But anyway, guys, it's been real. But until next time, say what? Fly. What happened?
Hey, Lynn T.
Yeah, he's selfish, but he may not be selfish to that degree. Like he may not be selfish to that degree because I think he probably felt like he owed his first children because they didn't grow up in the same life that his younger
Yeah,
did.
yeah. And a lot of people didn't even know that he had been married before.
Been married before, right? And they've struggled. So I can imagine that happening. He was like, "Okay, I got to do something because if I don't, not only is he gonna be mad, but his daughter's gonna be mad too and be like,
yeah."
So I guess maybe he had a clicking moment. I don't know. OJ was enraged at Nicole that day. I don't know.
Scorned. He was scorned.
I don't know. I just don't see it being like that scorn. I could see a a young adult, still a child, but a young adult, not really liking her, not really liking the whole situation, feeling like you're the reason why my parents are not together, ain't been together. It's always conflict when you're around. I don't even like you anyway. And the minute that I try to be kind of like, all right, let's do this as a family and I want to do this for my little sister, you shun me and me going, all right, I got you. Gotcha, bitch. I got you. Yeah. Because I already don't like you.
No, OJ walked up with them badass knees and saw her with that young man and slaughtered all of them.
Okay.
Because he's the juice. And he thought he was juicing.
He had no juicing in that day, I guess. But one day we will know the truth, and it'll be like, And hopefully, I hope that private investigator is right because he pulled up a lot of stuff. It was like, wow.
You got to find the dog, man. You got to find the dog. Because Cato wasn't any help. The guy that lived in the back, he was no.
Cato was too damn high.
Yeah.
What was going on? Okay. It was a hit.
Where else you cut?
That too. It could have been that too. It could have been that too. I don't doubt it.
Yeah, because you never know what they were into.
Yeah. Right. What do you say? You really don't know the story, do you? I just don't think it was him. I don't think he was that enraged, but he could have been. I mean, yeah. I mean, he used to be. I mean, that's evident. Just like they testified that he used to beat the dog crap out of his first wife.
First wife. Mm-hmm.
It's evident he used to beat her. I mean, they've all said that, but I don't know. For me, it just never stuck. That never was like, yeah, he did that. I never felt that. I always felt that it was something else, whether it was drug connected or even with this private investigator pulling up the son situation and all that. It was something. He just decided he was not going to let whomever it was take the fall. And he was just going to ride it out because he had the money to do so.
Yeah. And that's the one thing we learned.
Right.
That was fact. If you had enough money, you could kill somebody and get away with it.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure he threatened to kill her before, though, didn't he? I'm sure he had.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, Cato was on the come up.
Right. Still is. You see him on the.
He's still out there.
He was on that last Celebrity Big Brother, the one with Tamar.
Oh Lord. Oh yeah. And still like who? He was living in the dog's house. That's what he was doing in the back.
I heard a thump.
Mm-hmm.
A boom against the wall.
Yeah.
Off shrooms. But anyway. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's been real. Until next time, America. First thing I will say that the gentleman's panel will be on Rebel's channel, so please make sure that you tune in to Rebel and the Sun Tribe Nation to have a good time with us and hang out. We'll be talking. I think he posted. We'll be talking about the Pose episode and some other things. So be prepared to really have a good time as we normally do. Fun with a little bit of shady areas. But anyway, other than that, yeah, we'll be there. And until next time, you guys be safe, wear your mask, and moisturize,
And pump. Now you have to add pump to it also.
moisturize and pump.
Mhm.
And pump.
Yeah. Presentation is everything.
Yeah, because if you're gonna show it, you got to make sure that it's shown.
Mhm. At least let it be memorable for all the good reasons, all the right reasons.
Yeah, don't let it be wild shady.
Yeah, don't
Go
do that
out,
to yourself.
go out with a bang, not with a whimper. Remember, bang, not whimper.
Mm-hmm.
So, everybody, good night.
Good night.